We are already in the spotlight in 1966. We started out as a British invasion band, very much trying to be the Kinks and the Zombies and the Hollies, right? Then we started really getting enamored with the brass stuff, and we got one trumpet and started doing Sweet Soul Music and I Feel Good by James Brown. And then we were influenced by Blood, Sweat, and Tears in Chicago. We got a full brass section, culminating with Vehicle. Well, after a few years with the brass, our managers, the astute managers, I don't say that, a little bit of irony there when I say that. Well, we just talked to Clive Davis, and Clive Davis said, horns are out. You guys should drop the brass. But in that period, it spawned what I call our Harmony, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Poco era. And of course, the big one from that era also made it to number 1 in Chicago for 5 weeks. And we had just gone to LA, and we had done the Mama Cass show, the Whiskey A Go-Go, where we opened for Tony Joe White. We did a pretty good set, and Tony Joe White comes out in the middle of the set. Hey, we got a star in the audience, Mr. Stephen Stills. And Stephen stumbles on stage, and he goes, anybody have a guitar out there? And I had my gold top. Stephen, I got one right here. I got it out of the case, brought it to the stage. And they start this blues song, and he's enormously out of tune in like a different key than the rest of the band. And he's furtively trying to tune up, and he looked like a wreck, and the band's going, what the heck's going on? What I didn't realize, I didn't mean to punk him, I really didn't, is that we used to tune a step and a half low from concert pitch.
Detuned.
He was so mad.
Well, he was overserved at the beginning.
He was totally gone.
So he's trying to make, what the heck is going on here, trying to play along and tune at the same time.
It was so ridiculous.
Oh, what a mess.
So LA was a lot of fun. And we were coming home, and I had this idea of writing kind of an homage to LA, but at the same time, really being glad to be coming home to our homes and our normal life. And I wrote this song and showed it to the guys, and it became a #1 record. So you think we can pull it off with?
We got the 4 original vocals here.
We could try it. All right. It's called LA Goodbye. By the way, Mike really does play thighs on this song, on the recording. They were different genes, though.
You have a little bassier tone.
Yeah, a little fuller. Oh, well, my wavelength gets a little longer every time I wave goodbye. Hi. Sentimental breakdown. You know I break down and lie. High. Where I'm not supposed to lie my head. Always seem my softest pillow. And as I board my plane, something inside my brain hates to wave LA goodbye. LA goodbye. So long, kid. Sunset Strip, and I field trip over to your hideaway. Hey. Sunset Princess beckons, and we love the night away. Hey. And now I feel like years away from the west side of Chicago. And as I board my plane, something inside my brain needs to wave LA goodbye. LA goodbye. LA goodbye. LA, I'm gonna see you around sometime. Here's your chance to sing along. Light it up, it up, it up. Light it up, it up. Light it up, it up, it up. Light it up, it up. Light it up, it up, it up. Light it up, it up. Light it up, it up, it up. Light it up, it up. Sunset strip and that field trip over to your hideaway. Hey, hey. Sunset princess beckons and we love the night away. Hey. And now I feel like years away from the west side of Chicago. And as I board my plane, something inside my brain hates to wave and a goodbye, and a goodbye. LA, goodbye. LA, I'm gonna see you around now. LA, goodbye. Can't see the tear in my eye now. LA, I'm coming home. Hello, Berwyn. LA, goodbye. LA, goodbye. LA, goodbye. LA, goodbye.
The era was such a mix of music, and it was all available to everybody. You had a mix of all these different genres on the same station.
This is Billboard magazine. The date is May 23rd, 1970. And this is the Hot 100 for that week. And number one this particular week, American Woman, No Sugar Tonight, the Guess Who. Number two, Vehicle by Us. Number three, Turn Back the Hands of Time by Tyrone Davis. Number four, huge hit, Everything is Beautiful by Ray Stevens. Number five, a nice duo by the name of Simon and Garfunkel, Cecilia. Number six, Let It Be. I think everybody knows the Beatles. What a great week to have a hit. You know, what a great year to have a hit.
We did this festival, and on the bill, I don't know if you have this poster, but it was Iron Butterfly, Young Bloods, Ides of March, and Led Zeppelin. There might have been one other group on that bill. But
You're talking about Winnipeg now.
oh, is that Winnipeg?
Yeah, the Peace Train Festival was a different tour.
Okay, I'm a little confused. It's been a while. But
Hell, it's only been 40 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
This was the Man Pop Festival.
the Man Pop Festival.
The
Okay, there's the,
bicentennial festival. Here's
yeah.
the
What are the groups?
photo. Well,
On the
just
on the
as you
bottom
said,
there. Show
Vehicle was
yeah.
just a smash hit in Canada, and it shows the Ides of March, the Young Bloods, Iron Butterfly, and Led Zeppelin. And we were to go on before, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This was a big outdoor festival with a huge stage and a big PA, and of course, it started storming. So right after the local groups were playing and it started storming, they moved it inside this big cow palace and had to put together a PA.
It was the hockey rink.
Okay.
It was a big hockey rink.
Yeah, so they had to cobble together a PA out of speakers and everything else that they could do.
All the local bands were throwing in speaker cabinets. It was a mess of a PA.
They couldn't disassemble the PA that was outside and bring it in, so they had to just makeshift something. And so we got put into the mix inside the festival, and there must have been 50,000 people there, jammed in this hockey rink. And the Youngbloods went on actually before us, and then we came on, and then Iron Butterfly and Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin was the kind of group, when they saw this PA cobbled together with alligator clips, they got a real attitude. And they went on stage. First of all, we went on and we had the show of our life. It was like Field of Dreams. All of a sudden, after every song, people were standing up and cheering.
We killed the crowd.
We killed. We did our Symphony for Eleanor Rigby. We got a standing ovation. We did Wooden Ships, Dharma for One. We did all these epics, and after every song, we got a standing ovation. Ended with Vehicle, Get Out of Dodge. We knew we had captured that audience. Years later, I ran into Randy Bachman of BTO in Nashville, and we were talking, and I said, "You're from Winnipeg. Do you remember a show that we did with Led Zeppelin?" He said, "I was there. I was in the audience." I said, "Were we as good as I thought we were?" He goes, "Every bit." So that night, Led Zeppelin goes on, and they were out of tune, and of course they were Led Zeppelin, and they could get away with it. But we knew something was up. Next morning, the headlines, and we still have the article by a reporter named Ann Stark in her Spins and Needles column, Ides of March Steel Show from Led Zeppelin. As simple as that.
That meant so much to us.
Oh my God.
Still does.
I remember that night going off on you, taking off on a solo in Rigby, and me going with you, and just doing things we never did before, but doing them at the same time.
Every beat perfect, yeah.
Everywhere we went together, and all of us we just soared that night. It was a magic night. It was one of those nights where everything just came together as musicians, and we could do no wrong. It was a wonderful night for us.
It really was great. And then we all have our recollections of the party that Led Zeppelin threw and invited us to after the show. They were party animals. We're from Berwyn,
It was like one of those movies.
Fellini, right?
Yeah, it was surreal to us. There was all these wacky things going on, unspeakable things that, and we're standing there like Charlie Brown, in the middle of the swirling storm around us.
That I remember the exact time and place I was when the first time I heard Vehicle on WLS. And I had my girlfriend in the car, who's now my wife of 44 years. And all of a sudden, here's the new one by the Ides of March, Vehicle. I had to pull off the road. We both broke into tears. Literally, I cried. It was, oh my gosh, we're doing it again. And it sounded so damn good.
We had played at a place called the Valley View Young Adults Club in Frankfort, Illinois. Unbeknownst to us, our managers had gotten the promo copies of Vehicle to a guy named John Rook at WLS Radio. Now, John Rook was the program director guy, and he had just taken a new position on the West Coast, and he said, I'm going to do you guys a favor. I think this song could be a hit. We'll start it here Friday night. I'll go out there. We'll start it out there. Let's see what happens. My soon-to-be girlfriend at that time had come to see the band play. They're standing there in the audience, and and here's a new record that we just recorded. First time we're going to play this, and we play Vehicle. And they're like, "Well, we just heard that on the radio."
Nah.
And so kind of like after the gig, John, our horn player, and I go down and we meet the girls and we start making friends and stuff. And we just heard that on the radio, and no, come on, no, it's not on the radio. They had heard it for the first time being played in WLS on the way to see us play it live. And then you heard it on the drive home again.
That's right.
That night.
That's right. And by the time I hit Salerno's, well, that's another chapter. Salerno's on 16th Street in Berwyn was our place. Yeah. So I came in, and this was the night that Vehicle was premiered after the Valley View Young Adults Club. And the whole bar is buzzing about this record that they just heard. And someone said, "There's a guy just in here, he's looking for Jimbo." And, I was bullied as a kid, so I only thought that someone was after me. But in reality, they just want to tell Jim, "Man, we just heard your record."
Yeah.
So we went and had a major celebration at Salerno's. But I will say, history was almost diverted. We were mixing vehicle.
There you go.
Now, we had only done 2 takes of it. You know, those are the days you didn't do 10 takes. So we did a first take, and Frank Rand said, that's pretty good. Let's do another one. We'll keep that. So number 2, we hit our stride, and it's the take that you hear on the record. But something happened in between. Anyway, we're playing it, and the groove was locking, and I remember thinking, this sounds great. And I hit the lead part, and I played this lead that my fingers had a mind of their own. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if it was good, bad. All I knew, I was jamming out. So we went to the control room, and at that point, the lead guitar was buried. But we felt something about this track. We felt that we had kind of caught lightning in a bottle somehow. Even though we were still not sure if it was going to be a hit or not, we knew we'd had a groove, you know? And I had worked out this meticulous solo, and it was really fancy, and it really sucked, basically. But I didn't know it, and I walked in the control room and said, that's good, but let's hear that other one that we buried. And out came this amazing lead. I had to learn it later, like a student learning a guitar part.
Note by note.
Note by note. And later on, Jeff Beck said it was one of his favorite solos. 1, 2, ba-da-ba-ba-da-da.
So we had the second take. It was the keeper take. I think we were going to be doing a lead vocal or something on it, and they had just gotten in this brand new machine. It was a 2-inch, 16-track machine, and we were one of the very first sessions on this machine. So we went to do some overdub on it. There were 16 tracks, and the machine was an all record. And he hit the record button, and the whole thing lit up red, and he recorded over a section of the master take.
Erased
13
seconds.
Yeah, 13 seconds of the second verse, right? So there's a section now that was missing. It got erased.
Gone.
We're freaked out. Our managers are sweating bullets. But the engineer's like, why don't you guys go take a walk for a while? We'll see what we can do with this. He goes back, and this is back in the days when they're used to cutting tape with a razor blade and some Scotch tape. You can take a piece here, take it. But he goes back to the first take. He finds the section that's good. He puts it in the missing section on the master take. Excellent, razor blade. Boom. Done. It was a miracle, of the time.
It really was.
It fits right in there. That's how the record is done. That's what you hear today. There's a piece of the first take in the second take.
And thank God the erasure stops at the first note of my solo, because I never would have done that solo again. History was restored.
The managers showed it to Art Roberts at WLS Radio, and they played it for him. Art, what do you think? Can this get played? And Art was like, wow, that's a hit. But you know what it needs? It needs some background vocals. You got this part, love you, need you. It should go, love you, need you, need you. We can do that. We can add background parts. So the managers brought us back in the studio, but all 16 tracks on the machine were taken up. There was no place to put it. So what they did was they took the 2-track mix and they played it to another 2-track machine in real time, and we sang live through the board over the first mix while they recorded the second mix from it. So those background vocals don't exist anywhere except for the final mix.
It's funny, when Stallone wanted the master take to use in Lockup,
The movie Lockup, right.
what he didn't realize is those background vocals didn't exist. That's why you don't hear them on Lockup as they're restoring the Mustang.
My God. I never realized that.
Me either.
It's really funny.
wow.
Where are the vocals? Well, see, you should have used the 2-track. So we're still rocking this thing, and maybe we could, just closing off, just give them a version of Vehicle. We don't have the brass, as far as I can see.
We got the background vocals.
We got the backgrounds and we got the kazoo vocals,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
You want to try it?
Sure.
Mike, do you want to try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. I'm going to introduce it the way I have ever since 1970 when this song went #1. And we're opening for Led Zeppelin. Strap yourself in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And this is the vehicle that got us here today. Ready? 1, 2. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da. Yeah, well, I'm the friend, the stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, got candy, I'm a local man, and I can take you to the nearest star. I'm your vehicle, baby. Take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, need you. Won't you got to have your child? Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Tune it up, tune it up. Well, if you wants to be a movie star, I'll take you to Hollywood. But if you want to stay just like you are, you know, I think you really should. I'm your vehicle, baby. Take you anywhere you want to go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you. I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Oh, you know I do. Take it, Jim. Got through it. Get ready. Ba la 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 ba ba da. Ba la 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 ba ba da. Well, I'm the friend, the stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, candy, I'm a lone man. Take you to the nearest stop. I'm your vehicle, baby. Take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. But now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you. I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. And I'm your vehicle, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't you know that I love you? I need you. I want you, got to have your child. Keep going now one more time. Don't you know that I love you? I need you. I want you. I got to have you. I love you. I need you. I want you. I got to love you. I need you. I want you. Got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. 1, 2, ba-da-ba-ba-da. Not too shabby. See?
That was awesome, guys.
Right on. There's the proof.